and you've got it, and you've got hands. I just
Oh,
need
yeah.
product and hands. That's all I need.
Yeah. I have
Product and hands,
product.
and everything else is great.
I don't have hands, but
Yeah, see, you got to have both. Otherwise, it's you.
that's why everyone's like, at 10 seats. That's why we expanded next door. That's why we're expanding here. We're gonna build a full kitchen here. This is training. This is like boot camp for my team.
Yeah.
And then we send them out because we've got a couple openings. I don't know why I keep going back. I tell people this is the last restaurant I'm doing.
Well,
And,
it's an addiction, and it's a rush.
It is.
And when it's new, it's new. It's like a relationship.
Yeah, and there's easier ways to make money in this industry. You see Momofuku moving toward, moving toward the home. Yeah, a lot, and Shamrock, they're moving toward at-home products and things like that, which is fantastic. It's a different time now for chefs to figure out their branding, their marketing, what can they do,
One of the podcasts that we started doing a couple years ago, maybe even longer, was Chef Bob and the Misses.
Oh, nice.
And it was just my wife and I sitting in our backyard garden having a conversation about our businesses, but also about being in business together as partners.
You need to just send me a link to that.
I need to send you a link. Because some of it's funny as
yeah.
shit.
Well, also because that's
we're real.
That's my wife. What does your wife do for the
She owns a marketing company.
She owns a marketing company.
So she manages 3 huge marketing companies, marketing for 3 huge companies, manages $5 million in spend for them.
That's amazing.
Plus runs our 9 businesses.
Yeah.
10 now because we just started a new one. So
you're worse than me.
we're
we need
serial entrepreneurs.
Yeah. It's not just,
And
there's
so it's
chef
like
in the
working
name, but is it
together.
even, can you even call yourself that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the name, but that's what starts it.
It was, have we started yet?
We're
already in. Cheers then.
Thank you so much
Cheers.
for coming to 86 the podcast.
There.
Chef Bob.
Let's open it.
Yeah, let's just do it. I guess I hate doing intros. Every intro I say how much I hate doing intros, but Chef Bob Aungst, we met at the members club down over there in Ava here in Winter Park, and just a little snippet of what you're doing. I'm like, holy smokes, man, this guy is as crazy as I am in way too many things. But it's amazing to hear different perspective than just restaurant. So let's just hit it from the
So going back to that conversation, so Chef Bob and the Mrs. podcast, we were super real about it, and we were really enjoyed what we were talking about being in hospitality and being entrepreneurs married to each other, where we literally we built our own futures. But part of that podcast was geared towards helping young chefs, and it was sort of like a, ask Chef Bob questions. And
oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and one of the biggest episodes we did centered around, what's a chef?
Yeah.
What's a chef? And what are the ways that you can be a new chef, and what are the options that are open to you? And there are so many that people don't know. And, I'm a private chef. I'm a corporate chef for 13 different corporations. I'm a yacht chef. I am an event chef. We have a staffing company. We have a coffee company. We have a rental company.
So there's, as a chef entrepreneur, there's a lot of
oh my God,
areas.
So many. And task force chefs. That's what the League of Extraordinary Chefs that we have has 80 chefs working around the country at short-term, long-term, temporary, permanent.
Yeah.
Every sporting event there is, every conference there is, every concert there is. And then we have resorts just across the country where they go park themselves in Montana during the summer for 6 months and just live the best life.
Well, I don't think we talk about that enough. As entrepreneurs, I think it's the number one thing everyone talks about is just you're trading time for time or money for time or money for money, right? What are you trading? Yep. And you only have 24 hours in a day. You only have just this bandwidth to do it. I'm hitting some of these, hey, we need you here, bandwidth, like moments where it's like, yeah, I've got no more time to trade.
Yeah.
How else are we going to do this? How else can we build this brand? And obviously it's built around initially a name. You're building your name, you're building your brand and stuff like that. And then it goes into building. I'm thankful that Soseki, if I was never here, people just come here just for Soseki.
Yeah.
I'm sure with some of your brands, you're like that.
Yeah. And it's super rewarding. And, I think as chefs, our our overwhelming drive is to
Right.
build.
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we create and build.
Yeah.
But we want to build something that's going to last. We want to be creative. We want to be, the old time dream of a chef is, put up 4 walls, put up a kitchen, and create something where
Yeah.
somebody's going to want to come.
Yeah.
Simple, basic.
Die on the stove.
Die on a stove, exactly. And
It's nothing's wrong with that either. You know what I
no,
mean?
there's
That's- yeah, yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong. I have
Yeah.
so many chefs that have worked with me and for me that have gone on to build their own restaurants
Right.
and are super, satisfied and that's an entirely rewarding career.
Yeah.
The problem is, it becomes an entirely taxing career sometimes too.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
draining.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pieces to that, and I love that. I've just lived my life. I mean, I just rode my roller coaster all the way through. And, it took me wherever it was taking me.
Yeah.
And it took me to some really cool places, and I love that I was able to, at different stops, pick up more people, and different stops pick up more people.
How far into like you're cooking and then the entrepreneurial bug hit, or you've been cooking or you're chefing and then the kind of spider web of other projects started happening in your career?
I think for me, it really happened to me.
Okay.
My entire career happened to me.
Yeah.
And I think that I started and some of the best advice that I give to, young culinarians is this is a relationship building business.
Right.
That's how we met.
Right.
This is relationship building. And
Right.
mine just happened to be on a global basis. I traveled everywhere and I just built relationships.
Right.
And you don't know where those relationships are going to build you. And I became a yacht chef because one of my clients said, I have a yacht. I need you to be my chef. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Those are tough.
No kidding.
You're on call? Like tell us about that.
Well, and I had no idea what it meant to be a yacht. I figure I just show up, I get on a boat, not a boat.
Yeah.
and you cook, right?
Right.
No, it's not it at all.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to go to, Jacksonville, and you got to take, a 7-day course that costs a fortune and,
Really?
learn all these. Yeah. So
Yeah.
did you know, interesting fact, which I never knew until I got there, was on a yacht,
Right.
there's a lot of cool yacht facts, but like, for example, there can only be 12 guests on a
Maximum.
yacht. Doesn't matter if it's a 500-foot yacht. There
Really?
can only be 12 guests.
That's
ridiculous.
That's there at all times?
It's some maritime,
Oh, really?
guests
Guess. Yeah.
listed. But there can be unlimited staff.
Oh, okay.
So some of the guests might be like the scuba captain or like the person in charge of jet skis.
Right.
Like, so they work around that.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know
The
why
event
it was
party coordinator.
There you go. I'm in charge
want
of
that-
umbrellas.
I want that job.
Yeah, I want that job too. I'm a jet ski guy. I think that would be fun. But so on a yacht, the captain is the captain,
Right.
charge of the ship. Second in command is the chef.
Really?
I'm like,
So you've
seriously?
gotta
So
learn.
if something happens to the captain,
Yeah.
you're now in charge of this whole ship, and you're the only person that can say abandon ship.
I'm sure there's a lot of chefs
And
out there
there's
who are
like-
like, I want this now.
Yeah, I'm sure there are
we are
because they
kind
want
of
the power.
we're
Until they
controlling.
realize,
Yep.
all the piracy, and you have to have classes in piracy, and
Oh,
you have to
wow.
have classes. Yeah, and what happens when you get boarded,
Yeah.
and what happens when this happens, and what happens if there's a fire, and you have to go. The coolest part of that whole training, that whole week, was the piracy training, which was way cool.
Sure.
And the second part was when they put you in full turnout gear, and put you on a metal ship, with fires happening everywhere.
Part of your training.
Part of your training, like in full turnout.
Are you like
gear.
just like you've got to turn
Like-
a potato while like
Oh,
fire?
but no,
the
you just
burger-
gotta get the hell out of the ship. That's what you have to do. But you have to like be responsible. So,
Yeah.
so like all these things, you just don't know what
Yeah.
you don't know until you know it.
That's
And
so wild.
yeah, but so it just kind of it just evolves.
Yeah. How long has this been? How long have you been doing this?
Almost 30 years.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I know. I think all of a
And
sudden you
still
look
take-
back.
You'll still, hey man, I'll go on a.
Yeah,
And you're out there for a bit.
yeah,
Yeah, you're out for a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I have a lot of yacht chefs that work for me that are in our staffing company now.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
way
yeah.
cool. Yeah. So I think the career evolves
Right.
as it evolves, and I think it's I've never burned out. I've
Mm-hmm.
never gotten to the point where I'll never do this.
Right.
It's always been
Well, how did it start?
diversified.
How did it start for you? And then how much were you into traditional kitchens? Were you in traditional restaurants at one point, and for how long? Or
So it's a fun story that I have to repeat a lot, and so I lived in upstate New York. Saratoga Springs.
Mhm.
Loved it. Owned a hugely successful real estate company. I'm in my early 20s.
Okay.
Great real estate company. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I got more and more removed from the actual company piece of it. Just
Right.
became a closer.
Yeah.
And telling people, what they had to do and having them thank me for it later. So I started thinking, well, what do I want to do when I, grow up and retire?
Yeah.
I loved entertaining. I loved cooking. And I thought, well, I'm up in this gorgeous area in the Northeast. Maybe I'll buy an inn, buy a bed and breakfast in Vermont or something. It's like a chef goal. It's so pretty.
It's a
so
chef goal,
easy.
and everyone thinks, oh, a husband and wife. And these, I'll tell you, the horror stories of having an inn, of the 24 hours on call. I mean, you think you're working in the kitchen. At least you get to go home at night.
Yeah.
You are like living there. I mean, I thought that was my.
You're changing
my
beds. But we think that, right? It's such a hallmark moment in your life. This is gonna be
the wake up call
cool.
is rough.
Yeah, exactly. But that was my thought.
Yeah.
And then so I thought, okay, I'm in early 20s. I'm a good business person.
Right.
I can cook, but
That's really hard
I should probably like for real learn how to cook.
Yeah.
Like go to culinary arts school. Meanwhile, I have 5 different divisions of my real estate company. I have 2 young kids that I'm raising on my own.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I live in Saratoga. And I'm like, all right. So I apply and get accepted to Johnson Wales and CIA.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Yeah. Top 2 schools back then.
Top 2 schools. Yeah. The Rhode Island one.
Yeah. Of course,
the real one. And
Hyde Park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, well, that's really awesome. That's great. I can't do that.
To dedicate that much.
Well, I can't. I mean, I have 2 little kids. They're in school. I mean, I'm by myself. I'm a single dad. No. So I reach out. I look around. Where's the closest culinary school to me? And it was Schenectady College.
Yeah.
It was like 25 minutes away. I make an appointment with the dean. I go meet him.
Yeah.
I love him to death, Toby Strianes. And he looks over all my stuff. He goes, you know what, Bob? We're just going to do whatever you want to do. He goes, we're going to test you out of everything we can.
Yeah.
And we're gonna help you learn what you want to learn.
Yeah.
Wrote my own curriculum for me. It was super awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm
You're on
2
like
weeks
accelerated.
way accelerated. Way like I'm literally just here to learn what I need to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not dicking around. I'm not here for the college experience. I literally want to just
That's the hard part
learn.
about culinary is like they're still giving you this college experience and then how much of that is really translatable for these young chefs who are doing that, who are paying $50,000-$60,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the first 5 years of it, you're using 10% of what you've learned, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So
totally agree.
it's great that you just said, hey, give me that narrow path, and I'm just going to walk that rather than...
He knew my goal. He knew exactly what I wanted. And you're an adult student. You're focused. You're a business person. You're there for a reason.
Absolutely.
I love that he totally did that for me.
Yeah, that's rare. Yeah.
So 2 weeks in, I'm in class. Toby comes into class, and he says, Bob, can I talk to you? I'm like, what did I do already? I screwed up already? I've been like 2 weeks. I thought I was doing good. I was in baking class. I'll never forget. And so he brings me on, and he goes, hey, look, there's some intern people coming in I think you should really talk to. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. So it's Aramark. And,
Nice.
yep. And so, yep. So I go meet with him. And I said, why do I need to do this? He said, it's an internship for the Kentucky Derby. Okay. Well, fine. I go talk to him. And their deal, which I'm sure you know, all internships for, culinary students. And so they wanted me to go to the Kentucky Derby for $175 for the entire time.
Yeah.
Not per day.
Yeah.
Whole time, which was 14 days. and that was basically it. You're at their beck and call. And so I somehow make the decision. God in the universe intervenes and says, you should do this. So I told Toby, I said, you're out of your mind. I'm not doing that. I make more than that in an hour.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I can do this. And he's like, I think you should do it. I'm like, why do you think I should do it? And he said, I think it's something that you need to do. I'm like, all right, fine. So I do it. I make it happen and I do it. Get there, it's a horrific experience. I work the infield. It was horrific. And 14-hour days.
As an intern.
14-hour days, $175, crappy hotel.
Yeah.
Crappy everything.
I've done these. Tennis U.S. Opens. And
I've done 5 U.S. Opens.
It's like
exactly
1,000 people in.
Oh my God, it's insane.
It's just a rush in between.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Crazy.
So I do it the first year. Go back to class. I want to kill him. I go back, and next year comes around.
Yeah.
Aramark. Yeah. Can you come in?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Is it like $175 an hour now? No, it's still the same because you're still a student. Oh my God. I said, I'll do it again. That would because I was already done. I was committed now.
Yeah.
And
They got you.
oh, I was done. Yeah. And I said, but I want to do front side.
Yeah.
I want to do front of the house, and I want to do it track side.
Okay.
No more infield. I'll never go there again. And they're like, fine. Well, they put me in charge of Millionaires Row, Mill 6, which doesn't even exist anymore because they renovated Mill 6. And I'm in charge of Millionaires Row. And I'm there. And this is the year that Aramark, after 68 years, lost their contract.
Yeah.
And Levy picked it up, Levy Restaurants.
I worked with them for many years.
Me as well.
Yep.
And Levy picks it up. So Levy has a team there that's there just to figure out what the hell they're doing and how to figure it out. Because Aramark's exiting.
I did that Tennis US Open 2006. That was the exact same year they lost the contract, took it over.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you saw that transition. It's chaos.
It's
absolute, and it's cutthroat chaos.
3 weeks. I think I clocked in 112 hours a week. 112. I didn't even think I didn't even know if there's 112 hours in a week.
So that's super funny because and we'll get back to Derby, but my U.S. Open, I have done Western Southern Open in Cincinnati and U.S. Open in New York back to back, which is 5 straight weeks, and I've worked 600 hours.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
In 5 weeks,
Yeah.
600 hours.
It just doesn't stop.
It's like a year.
Yeah.
I remember working it out. I'm like, people work like this is like a year's worth of work in
I don't know if I
5
could do it again.
weeks.
I think I was,
No,
I
I'm
was
done
22,
doing it.
23.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's a young man's game.
It's a young man's game.
It's,
No, I'm over that. It's too much. So I do Derby, and I have Levy there then,
Yeah.
just overseeing everything.
So you're there for the transition.
Yeah,
Before now.
and I was there for the transition.
Yeah.
And so third year comes around. I'm no longer a student. Graduated. I'm done. Now Levy.
Yeah.
Bob, we really need you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're so going to pay. And they're like, we don't care. And they literally said, we'll pay you whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
I said, then you're going to pay
We
me
just
whatever
need
I want.
we need someone.
You've done this. You know what you're doing. You're clearly professional. You're clearly trained. We need you to help us get this through this first year, please, please, please.
Yeah.
So I charged them a fortune, and they took me on, and we did it, and we killed it.
That's fantastic.
And it is. And so,
What year was this?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so this
I'm pretty
past
sure we
Derby that
kinda
I
know
did
around the
was
same
my
period.
20th Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
And I called it. I called it on an even number. I'm like, no, I'm done. That's it. So between those 20 Kentucky Derbies, as you know, there's only 3 or 4 major food and beverage companies. There's Sodexo, which used to be Center Plate,
You're right.
and Delaware North,
right.
Aramark, and
Delaware
Levy.
North. Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's pretty much. They run every stadium, every conference, center, and everything. So people move around. People go from here to here, and here to here, and here to here. And through that, it was all relationship building.
Oh yeah.
And so
Let me stop you on that.
This
too.
guy would go
on the entrepreneurial aspect. The difference in how far you go. I'm sorry to say, you need a skill set. You need to be able to bring the goods, but it's all relational.
It is, and that's my biggest
Learning that
lesson,
early.
way early.
Yeah.
And
all
so
relational.
I'm in this game, right?
Right.
This is none of my intent. I have no intent to do this. I just want to buy an inn. I want to buy a bed and breakfast. This is where my life is, right? And so all of a sudden, I have all these relationships. I have all these people saying, no, we need you for auto show and Javits. We need you for this. We need you for NASCAR. We need you for this. We need you for golf. And I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And an event management business built itself underneath me.
Yeah.
And
Training people to do exactly what you do.
Yeah. And the need.
Yeah. You're trading time for money. And
that's exactly
how
it.
much time
And then
can you
so
really
it
give?
comes to a point shortly after where I'm like, well, I got to sell the real estate company and get into this. And I sold the real estate company and I got into it. And once I was in it, just like you, once you're in it, you're in it.
You're in it. Yeah.
And when you do this,
What a non-traditional
business.
way to get into business too.
for real, and
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
people, I want to back you. I want you to own a restaurant. I want you to build a brick and mortar. I want to back you. I have people that's throwing money at you, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to.
Yeah.
If I'm going to open a restaurant, I'm going to open it with my own money, and I'm going to own it, and I'm not going to be told what I have to do.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Sink or swim on my own. I'm fine with that. But it never, it wasn't God or the universe's plan, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it just
It's
never
never
happened.
Yeah.
so many other things happened that made that not realistic for me.
You know, after 17, 18 years in business, I finally did mine, and it's only 10 seats,
Yeah.
and that's all I want.
And it's awesome. And I said the same thing, and I use you as a model and an experience for conversations, because to do that right and own it is to do it that way.
Right.
And there's a restaurant in Saratoga Springs that's only open during racing season for either 6 or 7 weeks, whatever racing season is.
That's it.
Yeah, it has 6 seats.
That's amazing. That
It's in what used to be a garage, that like a roll-up garage
Yeah.
that a car went in.
So that's about 600 square feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they cook off-site. They bring it in. They sell 6
Yeah.
seats every night, and that's it.
And that's it.
And they kill it
Yeah.
because
Just
it's
racing.
racing season.
And it's
and
exclusive.
and
it's
you have to book it
interesting.
like a year in advance.
That's
and,
cool.
And so at that point, like you or I, we can just have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do whatever we want. You know,
I
they're
think a lot
charging
of chefs
$500 a
are
person.
getting toward that
Yeah,
state.
and-
Yeah, for sure.
But it's hard. I mean, it's not easy to just do that. I mean,
Oh, I mean, here,
there's we
You're
say
still-
it's easy. It sounds easy. It's not easy, but
I mean, that's the same amount of hours. You know, you don't have the team. To go and to also source that. We were going in the beginning. We had it was 10 seats. We're going to 5 different farms to pick everything up and farmers markets, and it was just it's taxing.
it is taxing, and
do
it's
it that
hard
right
to. It's hard. So what was hard for me to do over the last like 5 years
Right.
was build a team and let go of things.
Right.
Super
Letting
hard.
go is hard.
Super hard to let go of things.
There's some chefs out there who's cringing at that thought. Yeah.
I know. Like, you gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go. You've gotta, do the due diligence and oversee it and watch the trees
Right.
work and watch the prep and watch the everything, but
Right.
let it go.
I say that with every business I do. Even our man on the screen, Fernando, who's doing all of the social media content, creating all that for 86 podcasts. It's like, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like I took 2 months of just training him, just like I do any other chef, and now I just told him today. Now it's like we spend less time, but things get done.
Yeah.
And you just have to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take it, build it, release it. And that's how you grow, you know.
It is, and honestly, it's from a sanity standpoint for me. You know, I do a lot of private events for like dinner parties and charity work for Opera Orlando or whoever it might be. And,
Right.
You know, they'll sell me for the night for a dinner for 10, and
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
and one of my
So you still stay connected. You're still cooking in
yeah.
some
Oh,
degree.
I have to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to have an outlet
Same.
somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Same. I do a lot of roadshow private events. I do a bourbon inspired culinary journey
Right.
all around the country for some of my clients, and it's like everything has bourbon in it. It's super fun. And then I bring all my library bourbons with me. And
Yeah.
we do tastings.
Oh, we got to bring you for the
Yeah.
Whiskey Fest here.
Oh, absolutely.
My GC is involved in the Whiskey Fest here in Orlando. And
super fun.
yeah,
And
we'd
we
have
can
to
do some fun
something.
things with that.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
So anyway, one of my signature items is a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
And so, like, to say a charcuterie board and then see what we do is ridiculous. I mean, it's like on crack.
Yeah.
So, and they're very intricate, and I mean, it's a 3-hour build, and I mean, it's a whole thing. And,
Yeah.
And there's a look to it, and I'm super proud of it. And so I finally
I got chefs now who are just doing classes on how to build a charcuterie board properly.
Yeah,
You know, it's,
I have. I sell a class on doing
Yeah.
that, and I have. I mean, it's super fun and cool. It's incredibly creative.
Right.
And so, anyway, I have a girl, Lindsay, who's gonna love that I mentioned her.
Sure.
And she's been with me for I don't even know how many years, 5, 6, 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's like my right hand person on private events, and she'll run the crew, she'll run everything. But she finally just put her hand on my chest one day, and she's like, "Bob, I got this, chef. You set it up, and let me do the nuts and bolts."
Right.
And I'm like, because there's no wrong way to do it. If you follow, this is my format. Either you want it a certain way, you want it sparse, or you want it like overloaded, full. I have flowers, we have herbs, we have pots, we have plants, we have vines, we have all sorts of crap. And I'll set that piece up, and I literally have to just make myself walk away and let her do it.
Yeah.
And over time, she kills it. It may or may not be where I put this prosciutto or this Havarti or whatever it might be, but it doesn't matter. There's no wrong way. It's still a gorgeous look, and she knows my look.
Right. But now you've got one person doing one aspect of what you do, better than you. And I think that's I tell
Yeah.
people like cultivating these chefs or mentoring. We're kind of we're looking at the wide picture and everything
For real, yeah.
over. They're
Yeah.
looking through, and when you can find these people who's super passionate, have a they have it in them already, and now you've set them on this path of just narrow. And I'm like, wow, you can crush this better than I could do it.
Yeah.
Because this is all you're focused on, and you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's the most rewarding.
It's a bullet.
Too. Absolutely.
You need 10 bullets.
Yeah.
I don't need to be a shotgun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be as effective as 10 bullets.
Absolutely.
And that's how I always equate it. All right, you're my bullet, you're my bullet, you're my bullet, you're my bullet. And if we can, and I'm so super proud and love the fact that she embraces it so much, and that's her release. That's her really
Right.
like, you don't even have to pay me, chef. I'm like, no, I'm going to pay you a lot, but but I love that you don't feel like that's your motivation. It's her creative outlet, and it's her pride that she gets to walk away from that and feel like no one else could have created this for chef except me.
That's
and
crazy.
it's such a beautiful feeling to be able to, train and mentor
Yeah, absolutely.
young people like that.
And you're doing it on a wider scale too.
Yeah, on a global level,
Yeah,
really.
And so now, and you've got this League of Extraordinary Chefs. I think
Yeah.
that's the first thing you told me you did. We didn't get into all of the craziness of your life, but
Yeah.
League of Extraordinary Chefs. Tell us about that. What's
It's
that kind of company?
One of my proudest, and you would love this because really what I am is a mentor and a conduit.
Mm-hmm.
I have clients that reach out to me, and post pandemic, the 2 Kentucky Derbies ago was post pandemic, and it was the very first live event post pandemic in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what we were walking into. It ended up being 68,000 people. Had no idea, but nobody knew anything.
Right.
It was so we had no idea, and so you have to prepare for this, which would have been 150,000 normally, which is what we do. That's normal. So it'd be at 68. So we brought in my core group of about 10 chefs, almost a dozen chefs, and we converged on the Kentucky Derby. And we ran every premium outlet there is. I run the highest premium outlet,
Right.
and all my chefs below me ran. We just ran the Derby. And when we walked away from that event, it was literally like watching a Marvel movie where the crowd walks away, you drop the mic, and everyone applauds, and we leave. It was literally like that. So
Yeah.
I always create unique and memorable experiences for my teams when we do events like that. So in this case, we did the Bourbon Trail. So we all stayed a few days later. We got big trucks and drove around, did the Bourbon Trail, and then we left. By the time I get home to Orlando from Kentucky, I have 100 emails saying, "Chef, we need you everywhere.
Yeah.
The whole world is broke loose. We don't know what to do." And so between then and the U.S. Open, which is only a couple months later.
Right. August, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, September, yeah.
Oh, right.
But Western Southerns before that. So, yeah, the demand was so incredible, I'm like, I can't do this. I said, but you know what? When pandemic happened, one of the biggest, it was very emotional for me because I wasn't impacted like most people were impacted because I don't have a brick and mortar. I don't have, a boss.
Right.
So for me, we have our coffee company and we have our other companies that, buoyed that time. But for me, it was really impactful emotionally because I really felt for my compadres. I felt for all the executive chefs at stadiums and all the executive chefs at conference centers. And then all of my personal friends at restaurants around the country that all of a sudden just like the carpet got pulled out.
Right.
So I really felt that emotionally. And so then this opportunity comes up, and finally I get this call from, this massive regional company that is like, we need everybody you have. And I said, you can't have me, but you can have a version of me. And I started making phone calls.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, chef, what do you got going on?
Right.
You want to spend a few weeks here? You want to make a lot of money? You want to do that? I trust you. I trust your skill. I trust your leadership. I trust your professionalism. You're a version of me. And in many cases, way more talent.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you to here. How does that work out? Great. and it literally
So it's like a John
built
Wick
yeah.
hired gun.
Yeah, and now they
culinary.
want 100 John Wicks. I'm like, I can't find you 100 John Wicks,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
can
yeah.
find you 100 versions.
But they're
of them.
vetted. They're
Yeah, they're vetted. They're professionals. These are 20, 30-year professionals
Yeah.
that were executive chefs at Staples
Right.
Stadium. I mean, like these are big guys.
Yeah.
These are big.
they don't want to
guns.
be, and they don't want to do.
And,
they can
and
make.
they were jaded.
They
and
can make their
were
money in a couple weeks of just
2 or
hard
3
yeah.
weeks of banging it out.
Yeah,
Boom,
for a
boom,
couple
boom,
months,
doing what
yeah.
they love, and they've done their entire lives and haven't been able to
Right.
do for 2 years.
That's a great outlet now of not, some chefs who, maybe they're running their own catering company, private
Yes.
private sector.
Doing
or
whatever
something.
they can do. Yeah.
But now they have this, you want a little extra cash here. You want to do what you've been doing. Just do it,
Do it for me with it. You get all, and so the reality of it is, it's all the best aspects of our job,
Right.
with none of the bad. We
Yeah,
don't have to
yeah, yeah.
order things. We don't have to manage staff. We don't have to schedule things.
You
We
walk
don't have to
in,
do-
you get the
you
list,
walk
and
in,
you do the
you-
thing you do.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I love that.
So how long has this been going on?
Since pandemic, I've had a staffing company for 8 years.
Okay.
Which was my team that I brought to the Derby and everywhere else for my private celebrity
Right.
events, stuff like that. I just brought a really strong core team with me, and it was always been that for 8 years. And then post pandemic, it went from 10 to 20 to 40 to now 75, 80. And we even have 20 front of the house people now.
Yeah.
Sommeliers and
Yeah.
we
all
and
over
we-
the country, all over the world.
all over the country, all over the time. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing.
And we clients just we do ranches. We have a lot of ski resorts. We have everybody. I just got back 2 days ago from Big Sky in Montana, where I met with my team there and teams there and booked new clients for the summer season. And these guys, it is so rewarding to be able to take a chef who doesn't want to go back to corporate, doesn't want to go work in a restaurant every day,
Right.
and I can offer these guys really good money.
Right.
And here's the gig. It's 5:15 to 10:15. You're going to run the catering for this dude ranch. It's going to be this. They're going to put you up. They're going to fly you in. They're going to pay you a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Right.
And no harm, no foul. And then 10:15 during that time, they get to come back and visit parents.
And it all
kids.
sounds good. What are the caveats to this? I mean, you might be stuck. I'm sure there's chefs who, I mean, what is, as an entrepreneur, there's always a caveat. There's always the valleys and the mountain tops. So, for you, what are some of the harder things that you have to deal with that probably most chefs aren't dealing with on the regular?
Yeah, chefs are chefs. Chefs are human. I mean, we're a tough lot to begin with.
Yeah.
We're
There's
passionate, we're
ego,
creative, there's egos. Yeah,
there's
there's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And, we have a team in Mammoth right now that is just hating life because, they got hundreds of feet of snow and, and then we have a team in Big Sky that's loving life because everything's beautiful and everything's great. But people are human and it's managing people. I'm still an executive chef of our company, and I'm managing 70, 80 chefs now.
Yeah.
In various ways.
Yeah.
And so our company grew so fast, so big, that we hired a director of operations. We hired admin assistants. We hired additional marketing people and additional people to help manage all of that.
Right.
And so it's hard. What's hard for me is knowing what they're going through.
Yeah.
Coaching, mentoring,
But you've been
building.
there.
'Cause
They
I've been there.
understand that you've been there.
Yeah.
And you could kind of coach them out. Because a lot
Yeah.
of it's just a mental game.
It is the mental game, and
They have to understand, listen, you've got 2-3 weeks out. You're going to be fine.
Exactly.
Let's
and
talk
my
everybody off
biggest
the
thing,
ledge
yeah,
here.
let's talk everybody off the. I understand this is not your house. This is not your monkeys. This is not your circus.
Right.
You just got to get through the job. Be professional. Be dedicated. Do what you do. Why? I put you there for a reason. But we're all
You're the
human.
therapist. Yeah.
It's so much therapy. Oh my gosh.
I mean, in
but
any
we're
restaurant.
chefs in your restaurant.
It's
How
the-
much do you
it's the
counsel?
same
How
thing.
much is therapy?
It's the same.
It's people just lose their minds, and I mean it's restaurant, which is also
Yeah.
why we love it.
Yeah.
We love the chaos.
Which is
We
also
love it.
that we're a different breed. We're a different breed for sure.
Yeah.
Restaurant folks.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's so
I
funny.
I brought you a present.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're
Let's see
welcome.
what this is. Oh, nice. Bourbon barrel aged old fashioned roast.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite new things that I've created. Yeah. Give it a good
Oh,
little
yeah,
squeeze. Get a
yeah.
good little. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It smells like bourbon and coffee and all those
Yeah.
notes.
So
Fantastic.
we started our coffee company. I'm sure my marketing team's going to hate me when I say it. I don't remember when, but it was a long time ago. And we started this company because I couldn't find a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I love coffee, and I couldn't find a good cup of coffee. And so I met with Gus at Orlando Roasters, and I'm like, hey, I want to make my own coffee company. He's like, awesome, let's do that. And so we did.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago now. And so we started creating coffees, and the intent was never really to make money. It was just to
I
we
need coffee
sold
for
it,
my
operations. It was kind of that deal, And we played with it, and we built it, but we didn't really invest a lot of time, effort, and money into it. Pandemic hits. All of a sudden, people can't go have a cup of coffee at the office.
Yeah,
they can't even drive through any place and get a cup of coffee. They literally can't go anywhere. They're stuck at home. And all of a sudden, online coffee becomes a gigantic thing. So we got ahead of it. And we decided to invest a lot of time, money, and marketing into our coffee company.
And it's just the right timing. I think that's so much, getting off of the chef thing, just as entrepreneurs, your product or whatever you're pushing or doing, keeping at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your end-all, be-all, but you have this kind of project here, and it's just waiting to be incubated, waiting for it to come about.
Waiting for its right time.
And so many people fall short of that. I'm not, even in the creative space of YouTube, I'm not seeing the click views, and YouTube algorithm hates me, and all these things. You just have to push through.
Yeah.
Year 1, year 2.
Well, you have to look at
10 videos, 20 videos, 30 videos, what have you.
Exactly. And you have to, I think one of my biggest personal learnings in the last 3 years has been that it's not on my schedule. I need to let it go. I need to let it go.
Really hard for that chef mentality where we want to
super
everything.
Super
control
hard.
everything.
I want to control it. I want it to be the way I want it. I want it now. I want it this one.
We are in this industry for instant gratification.
It is.
Make a plate,
or control.
send us again.
I think it's honestly control.
It is control.
I want this to happen here. 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 And I want it all to end right here, and I want it to look like this.
Right. On my time.
And boom. Yeah. Only on my time.
Only.
And so, I realized, about 3 years ago, I finally embraced, it's not on my time. and all the things that I thought, should happen on a certain timeline that didn't happen, that ended up being a disappointment, somehow ended up being a blessing at a different time. Because it was the right time. And so that was it's a huge peaceful thing for me to be able to let that go.
I just told my wife, because we went, COVID was rough for anyone in the industry. I said, this is the year. We're stopping. We're not going to strive for things anymore. We're not going to grasp for things anymore. Like for this season in our career and life, not let the chips fall. We're going to work really hard.
Yeah.
But the grasping aspect, we're gonna set it up. We're going to set it out, and we're going to let it do its thing. And let it flow a little bit more than we used to, where instead of trying to really push it forward.
And the learning for me was to love the process, not look for the goal.
Oh, that is
love the process.
That's what I preach.
There was so much. There was so much process I didn't enjoy because I wasn't focused on it, and I was focused on the result.
On the result, so you can't even enjoy.
I didn't enjoy
the people. You
and so so I took a collective pause back, and I said, "All right, the coffee company, which we had at that point for probably 5 years, 6 years. Okay, you know what? Coffee's the thing.
Right.
I'm gonna embrace and love this." And so we took a pause. Redirected the coffee company, and I'll never forget it. I had this weekend where it was like 4 or 5 nights in a row at 3 a.m. I'd wake up with all of these really cool creative ideas, and so finally my wife had said, Kristen said, you need to get out of bed, you need to go to your office, and you need to write things down.
Yeah,
and I did that for like 4 or 5 nights, and I decided that I wanted to take our coffee company, and I wanted to elevate it to an art form. I wanted to elevate coffee to an art form.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bag of coffee. It's not a cup of coffee. It's an art form.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I do that? And so I revisited our roasting recipes with my roaster, and we really when you have a recipe and it's great.
Yeah.
But you can tweak it just a little, and you keep tweaking, you keep turning dials, you keep doing
version 5.0 is always better.
But when you get to the end, you're like, I'm damn proud of this. Right?
Yeah.
So we did that with the coffee. And then in my mind, one night I wake up and I'm like, so if we want to elevate coffee to an art form, let's elevate it to an art form. And I reach out to John Harrell, who's a local Florida artist, super awesome Florida artist. I said, John, I want to give you some coffee, and I want you to show me what this coffee means to you in an art form.
That's what's came
It's not
on
this one, but that's how it came to be. And he's like, okay, cool. So I gave him a handful of coffees, you know, creme brulee and Papua New Guinea and all these different. I said, just show me what it says to you. I'm curious to see what it is. He came up with these amazing art forms. Those became our labels for the then rebranded Artisan line.
Yeah.
So this is towards right before the before pandemic kind of broke. Orlando Museum of Art reaches out to me and says, hey, I understand you have this really cool art coffee company. I'm like, yeah, we do. And it's kind of about art and all this. And I tell them the whole story. And they're like, yeah. And they said, well, we want to do a really special event for our high-end donors. And it's a thank you event.
Right.
Would you come and do an event for us? I'm like, sure. So we take the whole Artisan line. We take all the artwork from the Artisan line. I reach out to Opera Orlando, Gabe Presser, one of my dear friends. And I said, this is what I want to do. I said, I want to create an event that's purely about art.
Right.
I want to have the artwork there. I want to create food that's centered around the art and the flavors. And I want you to come and sing opera there.
Oh, I love that.
And I want John to be there with me creating art. We're all creating art.
Yeah.
And so I come up with this idea. Yeah. So I wish you could have come. So we set out this magnificent, giant, round area. We rope it off, red rope. I sit in the middle of this table. I sit in this table, and I'm doing cold smoked hors d'oeuvres, you know, little tweezer work, this all sorts of fancy stuff.
Yeah.
On the back of me, on my chef coat, John Harrell is painting an artwork piece on my back. The whole time, we have all the press, we have all the people around this whole round circle.
Yeah.
And Gabe Presser and his whole opera company is singing opera. And the opera they're singing is a coffee cantata, which is about a woman back in the God knows when who's addicted to coffee. And her father wants to get her off of coffee because he feels it's evil. So he's trying to find her a husband, and the daughter and the new husband are, you know, conspiring so that she can still drink coffee. It's all about coffee. Didn't even know it existed. So Opera Orlando's singing about coffee at the same time that I'm creating culinary art, while John Harrell is creating visual art. Right. While Opera Orlando is
this
creating
whole sensory experience, right?
We hit every sense.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And then at the end of that performance, you know, and the whole time servers are coming in and I'm creating cold smoked hors d'oeuvres. Right. And they're coming in and handing me, you know, trays, and I'm passing them, and they're passing them out to the crowd this whole time. Yeah. While this is all happening.
This is at OMA. This is at Orlando.
This is at OMA.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then that all happens, and we go into OMA, and we have 7 stations of the art. So it's about this piece of art. And this piece of art has this food with it, with this coffee with it, and this cocktail. And we had a coffee cocktail, and we had, but that's what my coffee company is about.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so this one, so during that, we create a partnership with Garrison Brothers, a bourbon distiller in Texas. Okay. And he supplies me with bourbon barrels. And so he supplies me with soaking wet bourbon barrels. I get them on he ships them on Monday. I get them on Wednesday here in Orlando, soaking wet. We roll it, we pull it out. My roaster gets to get the little drips of whatever's left in the bourbon barrel to make sure it's soaking wet. We fill it with green coffee beans. We rest rotate and roll them for about 40 days, and we get 40 bags out of it. Man. And then we rotate, and then
you're getting me excited to try.
I know. and then we retire the barrel and do it all over again.
That's wild.
So then we sell the barrels to breweries and wineries and people that just want them. And so the bourbon barrel
How big
aged
are these
coffee, 25-gallon and 55-gallon.
We gotta get one over here.
You need a barrel.
Yeah. I want a barrel. I want to.
We can make your own coffee, which I absolutely like. We can make your coffee.
Bourbon, coffee. So got bourbon, got coffee, and now I'm gonna throw soy sauce in there and age it for a year.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That'd be way cool.
Our house soy sauce. Are we making that?
Yeah. That would be
All right.
so amazing. So
I'll
we
see you in
build.
a year, guys.
We build the yeah, it'd be awesome. I want the first
You'll
first
get-
one.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get the first
That'd
one.
be pretty cool.
And we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then the bourbon barrel age line of coffee evolves.
Uh-huh.
It's created, it evolves, and then we took that same. So then we take those same bourbon barrel aged coffees. We sign and date them,
Right.
number them because there's only 40 per barrel. Super
Cool.
super
Wow.
small craft, and small batch. Then I decide, okay, so let's elevate this even further because as chefs, we just have to keep taking it further.
We can't.
And I
I
said,
know, I
well,
can't stop
so
tweaking. Yeah.
what if we took the bourbon barrel aged coffee after that and we flavored it?
Mhm.
So we've done that, and
Yeah.
and these three we have an old fashioned which tastes like bourbon,
Cherries,
cherry,
yeah, yeah.
orange. It's absolutely like having
I've
a
got you.
coffee old fashioned in the morning.
Yeah.
It's just like that. And then we did a spiced pear,
Yeah.
which is amazing, and a cowboy caramel. So it's caramels and vanillas and nutmegs and cinnamons and like
Man, I
it's
love-
just so much fun. It's such a
I
creative
love that-
outlet.
You're taking that creative aspect of a chef, and it doesn't have to be 50 plates every night, saucing, protein, this and that.
And the garnish and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then boom, throw it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It doesn't have to be. It can
Doesn't
be,
have to be.
It can be so many other
You're right.
things.
Well, I see so many chefs going into different sectors. Down to, I have a few chefs who I know who are into CBD and they're making candies and flavoring, or other chefs who are getting into soaps. And
Yeah.
it's just the different outlet, but you're utilizing. I think it would do anyone some good to spend some time in the kitchen. The rigidness, there's creative, and don't get us wrong,
discipline.
the discipline.
It's the discipline that I
the
think
organized chaos,
Yes.
all of it. I mean, I think that it breeds something. It would really benefit a few people just to see that what it all takes to have one plate, one thing on, one plate to
what
a
it
guest.
takes to get to that one plate that hits you in front.
Yeah,
the
100%. And that's the story we tell every day.
And
at
it's
Society's.
days.
How many
It's days and days of work.
days of work? How many vendors and hands and farmers? And we try to tell that story well here within our little 10-seat restaurant. But I love to see in a different form. So
Yeah,
like
it's-
nowadays, where is Chef Bob now? Where you spend most of your time? What are your what are you
Honestly,
into?
for me at this point, like I said, I just got back from Montana. And
Right.
for me, as we put teams out in for different clients, it's either myself or one of my master trainer chefs that goes and spends time with that team, spends time with that client when they go out on assignment. We have a team going out to 320 Guest Ranch in Montana in a few weeks, and they'll go out and run that ranch for six months. And we have the 2 executive chefs that are going to run that entire ranch for 6 months. So
Yeah.
we'll give them a couple weeks to get their feet under them, and then myself or one of my master trainers will go out and work with them side by
Right.
side.
And they're
And
off to races.
yeah, and let's get this right. Let's get
Right.
everybody in a good place.
You're the guy in the chair. You're the Charlie of the Angels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So my team is famous for reminding me that I created this analogy for our company about
Yeah.
the tower in an airport. You're the same person. You're
getting there.
You're in the tower.
Yeah.
And if for some reason you find yourself down on the runway fueling planes, people are dying. Because
Whoa,
you
that's a
need
great
to be
analogy.
back.
Oh, wow,
It
that's-
is.
we
And-
gotta
and-
hear
and
it.
I know. I created it. I created it years
love
ago
that.
for a guy who was a pilot, ran this massive company, but he was a pilot. He loved being a pilot, and I got invited to do an event for him, and I was at a board meeting with him, or manager meeting with him, and I'm sitting there listening to him, and he was just all over the place, and I
Right.
said, Dave, you love flying, right? He goes, yeah. He said, I said, so you're flying, right? You know the guy in the tower? And he goes, yeah. I said, what if the guy in the tower wasn't there?
Right.
What would happen? He's like, well, nobody would know what to do.
Yeah. He's out there cleaning a spill.
What if he's down
on
there
the-
like gassing up planes, or he's sweeping the runway, or what the hell?
I need to keep
and
reminding
he goes,
myself.
I said,
Ugh.
so in your company, Dave, where do you see yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I need to be in a tower. Yeah. Are you in a tower right now? And he's like,
Yeah.
wow. I said, "You need to be
Usually
in a
I'm out,
tower." We're
cleaning
everywhere. We're
cleaning
down
a fridge or moving
Yeah,
a fridge
exactly.
from a dead
Moving it, yes.
restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. And we do so many of those things. But so as a company owner and as an entrepreneur, we have so many spinning plates. My team will remind me, are you up in a tower, chef?
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
great.
Like, no, I'm like over here doing. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah. You need some moments where you're just I'm just cutting chives because I need to cut chives.
Oh,
You need those moments.
Oh, absolutely.
But you have to
and
be
I'm like,
aware.
no, I just need this 20 minutes. You need to give me this 20 minutes. This is what I'm going to do.
Right.
You're going to do your thing. Everybody pause.
But being
give me my
aware
minute.
of there is so much, and it's got like I said, you have the bird's eye view of everything, and your team is doing the narrow view, and they're passionate and staying focused.
Just like
on
you said
that.
earlier. Yeah, they need to be the bullets. So it's our
But
job.
how
It's our
often-
job to load the
Oh, yeah.
gun
Yeah.
and put the bullet in the right direction.
Right.
You know, when it veers off, it's to come out of the tower and have that conversation.
It's so true. As an entrepreneur, if just running any type of operations, you're just pulled in so many directions.
Yeah.
Being able, I think, a great entrepreneur, a great chef, anyone in that leadership position it's not how many tasks or how. I always tell this: it doesn't matter how good of a chef you are if you're the only one cooking.
That's right.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
That's right.
how good are you at getting 10 people to execute this
right.
vision?
And you know, definition of a leader versus a
Right.
manager, you know, is getting people to, you know, want to do what you want them to do without you asking.
Absolutely.
And they have to have the skill, they have to have the direction, they have to have the parameters. But for, like I said earlier, it's super hard for chefs like us to just back away.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, I watch you in your restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to your restaurant dozens of times, and I love the execution on every level.
Oh,
and I
thanks.
know that you have a hand in that.
Yeah.
You have a hand in your expediter. You have a
I'm
hand
learning.
in it.
Yeah.
But
the,
I can
the
tell
casting
you,
the vision part is, and then letting that, and
have
like
to
you said
step
before,
back. And you
being
have
okay
to
to step back.
Yeah.
It's not exactly how you get you would have taken a different route A to B,
Yeah.
but they got A to B, right?
Yeah. And that's my wife Kristen says that all the time. She's like, did the goal hit? Yeah, the goal hit. Does it matter how it got there?
Yeah. So why are you
To
frustrated?
me, it does.
Yeah.
To me, it does. And
that
I'm not
chef.
gonna lie. I'm like, no, kind of it does to me. It still matters to
still
me. Yes, the
matters.
goal that was reached, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. But it still tweaks me a little
My
bit.
wife says all the time. She's like, okay, so why are we having this conversation right now?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know either because it bugs me, and I need to get it out of my
There you
head.
go, it just-
And that's where we are.
That's so
and that's
funny.
just it. But I do admire you a lot, and
I appreciate that.
and I love, you know, I'm super proud of your achievements. And
Thank
I'm
you so
super
much.
proud of, you know, what you've done in what I consider your young life, and
Yeah.
and it's awesome, and it's, to me, it's heartening and embracing to and gratifying to see that dedication
Right.
succeed,
Well, thank you, man.
and I love that. So
Well, we got to have you back on. I mean, I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg with all the craziness. My wife will probably say, stay away from you because she's like, I'm going to have all these ideas of, you know what I need to do. She hates that one. You know what, honey? It's like,
well,
let's have a
we've-
date night.
yeah,
and all we talk about
let's-
is,
there we go. And
That's
we've
it.
recently, in our personal life, we've just gotten into, you know, we a year ago, not even a year ago,
Yeah.
we owned 0 horses.
Yeah.
And I was in I'll never forget how this happened. We're in New York City. I'm in New York City doing an event for Javits, and I sat down with one of my chefs, and we sat down for dinner. And Kristen sent me a picture of a pony, like a 3-week-old pony. And she said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I swear to God, I sat there and I said, "Oh shit."
You're already looking for. You're already.
shit.
That's-
and she and
Yeah,
and Chef Duncan McDonald was sitting right next to me. He goes, "What's the matter, Chef?" And I said, "I think I just bought a horse." And he goes, "Seriously?" I said, "Pretty sure."
Pretty sure.
So
That's
was,
how fast
that
it
was
happens.
Javits last June. Now it's
Yeah.
April. That was June of last year. We now own 3 horses
Jeez.
and a horse farm.
Jeez.
So you just never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And now, of course, so, you know, Kristen says to me, "Oh, we got to set up a virtual studio out there. We can do cowboy cooking. We can do," and I'm like, "Oh God, here we go.
Here
again.
we go.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Here's the next
But
thing."
you know, there's my wife always says she's the breaks when she has to be, but finding that partner in life who just this is a lot of crazy going on,
Yeah.
and finding someone that you can partner with that can
It's a huge
hone
blessing,
it and
isn't it?
also make sure that
And rein it.
you're rein it in. Absolutely.
Let it loose and rein it in.
Yeah.
And Kristen's
Yeah.
awesome at both of those.
I could hear the same advice or kind of like correction from someone that works for me or anyone in my fold. But when it comes even just 10% from my wife, I'm like, ooh, that
hurts.
stings.
I know. It felt
You
like I
need
got
that.
hit with a spur or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got a bit yanked up into my mouth. I know. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Chef, this has been awesome.
Thanks for coming out. I'm
You're
sure it's not the
welcome.
last. We're gonna have to do
Yeah.
and we'll do some dinners together.
Yeah,
I'm not
let's do
joking. That
that.
soy sauce. I'm I'm
Well,
excited for it. We'll
let's,
put it on the
when
YouTube.
we're done, let's talk about that.
Perfect.
Let's get you hooked up.
And we're
I
gonna
got
have
some
a
great
bunch
barrels.
of your links and everything on the bottom.
Awesome.
I'm sure there's a lot of chefs out there who are like, where do I sign up for?
Yeah.
You
And
know.
if that's the case, our website is LOEC
Right.
LOE Chefs.
Okay.
League of Extraordinary Chefs. So LOEchefs.com. That'll give them all the information that they
Fantastic.
need. And, Chef Bob's Coffee.
Yeah.
If you want to look into the coffee, chefbobscoffee.com.
So, that's fantastic.
Easy
man.
peasy. And then chefbobaungst.com.
Nice.
There.
Nice.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Chef.
much.
Been a pleasure.
Absolutely.